Hi there. So in this video, let's continue with the while loop. Let's have a small discussion about while loop, for loop, if loop, and just continue with that. So have written a couple of examples to start with. Uh, I'll just, as in the previous videos, previous sessions, let me just execute this program and then explain you how and what about this. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and just say F5. So it just started to print these things. Okay, so these are the things that it printed. Okay, so now it's asking me enter a number. So this is the one that's been printed. There's an input function that's been called. So input function, as I told you, it's going to take an input from the user, and I have used int as typecasting, and then whatever the number the user enters here will be stored to variable, will be assigned to variable num. So now the while loop, actual while loop. So while this condition, and we have a colon here. Okay, so this number, say suppose I enter a number 1, okay, and then type and then press enter. So it's just displayed me few things. What really happened here is it just took the number that I entered here, assigned it to num. So my number is 1. Okay, while number 1 is less than or equal to 5, this condition satisfied. So this condition is true for now. So it's going to print. Okay, it just printed the whole from 1 to 5 because I'm incrementing the number. So again it's going to come back to this loop. Once I increment, the num1 will become num2, num will be equal to 2, so 2 is again less than equal to 5, so it just printed 2. So again after printing it comes here, so number will be 3 now, so 3 is again less than 5, it's going to print 3. So it just printed 3, then it printed 4, then it printed 5, and then exited, because once this number becomes 5, it is less than or equal to 5. Okay, it's going to print that number 5, then this number gets incremented to 6. So once the number is incremented to 6, this condition fails. Once this condition fails, it exits the while loop. Okay, it exits the while loop, and it won't execute this one for now. Okay, so I'll just run this program again and try to give some number which is greater than 10 and see what happens, which part of the code gets executed. So I'll just give the number 20. So it just printed me from 10 to 19. So what happened here? It just took a number, it asked the user to enter a number. I entered 20, it was stored in num. So while num is less than equal to 5, no, this whole condition is false, so it doesn't execute this while loop. It just comes straightly to the if loop. If num, what am I trying to demonstrate here is I'm just demonstrating the control statements. I just told you about while, I'm be telling you about if and a for loop within if. So this is just what I just wanted to demonstrate, thought of demonstrating to you guys now. So now I have the number 20. So this condition is false, it comes here, the number is 20, number 20 is greater than 10, obviously 20 is greater than 10, then it enters the for loop. Okay, for loop, this is the syntax for loop. Okay, this is the syntax for loop. So for I in range is a function here, so it takes the starting and the ending point. Okay, for I, what does this I or a or x, whatever you want, I told you, you can give. It's going to iterate from 10 to num is 20, I have given 20, or I can just type 20 here directly, or I can give 100. So the range will start from 10, it will go up to whatever value you want to enter. So what I have done is I have just set the number that I am going to enter as the value, as the last value to be, that's the range. Okay, so I'm just going to print this I. So when I'm printing this for loop iterates through every number from 10 to 20, and it's going to print everything, and hence the result. Okay. Okay, I'll just proceed to example number 2. I think example 1 was very easy and very straightforward. This is my example 2. For now I have just used these three, what do you call this, quotes to comment out multiple lines. Just use this here and here again here. So once I remove that, you can see the font colors changes. All these things become something like this. Okay, just notice this. I'm just going to delete this. Okay, see. Okay, see, one thing what you can observe from this is all the inbuilt functions like input, int, print, range, everything is printed in pink or some color that you define. You can actually configure the window. You can configure the ideally wizard. Basically you can do whatever you want. So it's gonna, for me it's highlighting in this color. Let's go to example 2 now. Okay, I just uncommented this. So what does this piece of code does is it's just going to validate a password. So how does it do? It just uses some while loop, it uses a if loop and an elif loop. So what am I trying to demonstrate here is a while loop, if loop and elif, a combination of loops within loops. So you might encounter a logic where you might have to do this. So this will be your part and parcel of your day-to-day Python programming. So as usual, I'll just save this program and I'm going to run this program, and let's see what happens. Okay, it's going to run from here because I have uncommented. Everything is uncommented, and it will start from here. So I'll just do one thing. I'll just give number 1 here. It's going to print up to 5. So my example 1 is done. So now it comes to example number 2. Just printed these things, and it's asking me please enter the password, because I'm using an input function here and I'm asking the user to enter a password. Okay, I'll just give a password. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just go from here. This is a null character. I'll not give any password here. I'll just say enter. So what happens is I have a variable called password and I have assigned null character. Okay, while password, this while is a condition. Again, I just told you here, while password is equal to null. If the password is null, then what you do is you ask the user to enter the password. Until user enters a password or types some string, it keeps on asking me the same thing. You can see that, for example, if I don't enter anything and just press, if I don't enter any character and just press enter, it just keeps, the loop keeps repeating. So that is where the while loop is so powerful. It won't exit unless and until the condition is true. Okay, say suppose I just give password as say ABCD. Okay, so it says sorry, the value entered is incorrect. So this condition gets satisfied once I type something. Okay, then it comes here, it's going to check this string. I just entered something from here, so that will be assigned here. So if password, the entered password, is it equal to this one, is it equal to this string? If it is yes, it will say login is successful. If it is not, so what I have done, I have created one more elif condition. It's a condition again with the same syntax. The password, if the password is not equal to this one, this is my password. Okay, it says the sorry, value entered is incorrect. So I'll just run this program again and I'll just give the correct password, that is while loops. Okay, I'll run this program again. Okay, this time I'll just give some number like 30. So it's going to print from 10 to 29. That's the range. So in my second example, it's asking me for password. I'll just type the correct password now. While loops, it says login successful. Okay, it just checked whether the password enter was this one, and then it just printed this. I hope this was very easy and you were able to understand the while loop. And some other new things that we learned today was commenting using triple quotes. We learned a range here. What is range? And we saw how to have multiple loop statement within a loop within a loop. So this is how you can control the logic of your program. I hope you enjoyed this session. If you have any comments or suggestions, please let me know. Thank you.